Didn't stay here the whole time? Oh, good morning, you guys. My dog steals my old chair. He decided he was going to join us the whole training, not half the training, the whole training this week. So, everybody, welcome to our training for January. We are on week 3. So, we're going to move on to daily focus and 5x5 tracker. The 5x5 tracker actually will carry into next month as our team incentive challenge. So you'll really want to start working on understanding it, how to implement it, and ask any questions that you have. So good morning. Of course, I'm not going to see any comments like always, so I will come back through and check any of the comments we have. My pinned question for today is, what is one thing you have learned so far or that has helped you get started on a more consistent schedule? So starting January, we had a goal and a focus on having a Monday training every single Monday. The first training that we had was the big picture training. So this was teaching you how to schedule out in 3-month cycles, why that's important. When you're looking at your months, being in charge of your calendar instead of your calendar being in charge of you. So focusing on fixed appointments that are scheduled for you, your family, your kids, the super important things, getting those laid out for your 3 months, and then going in and doing your intentional activities. This is when I'm going to focus on working my business. This is when it's good for me to book parties and scheduling those things out. So we started that the first week. Those are all in our guide section, so you can go back through if you missed those. Last week, we went to weekly focus, okay? And with the weekly focus, I provided some templates for you, some examples for you to help you take your week and really start theming it out. So, not only with your business, but with your social media, you can have a theme for the day that follows from week to week to week, meaning motivational Monday or mention it Monday. And we talked about how Monday could also be mail out Monday, that you're mailing out samples and thank you cards. And that's what you do every Monday. So we laid that out. We talked about that. I encouraged you to kind of come up with your own little theme on what your week will look like. It doesn't have to look like what we talked about. We also theme our graphics around that. If you follow our feature the month bundle of the month graphic, and then our feature of the week graphic, we really try to stay consistent with that. So hopefully you've had a chance to kind of look at that. Use the templates if they're helpful for you to kind of get that weekly focus idea down, okay? And I'm hoping, again, I'm going to tell you guys, we're all in here for different reasons. Some of us are here for just social activity. We're not worried about being consistent all the time. But if you are here to grow a business, grow a team, these are things I love to share because I really think they can make a huge difference in your business when you're consistent. And once you get going with them, they become very routine and very easy. We've talked about how when you get started on this, as we're learning, it takes a little longer, it takes a little bit more intention, a little more time spent focusing on it. But once you get this routine and this cycle going, you'll notice it becomes super easy. I don't even think about it anymore. I actually had to refresh myself on what I do because I just do it automatically. And that's the way you want it to be. Okay, so today we're going to have a shorter daily focus, and then I'm going to jump into our 5x5 tracker. So today I provided for you Let me get my sheets here. Two examples. So I've used this one before. This is kind of an action item daily list. Like if I was getting started on my day and I needed help getting started because I tend to squirrel, this is a great simple check off list that you'll want to start on right away. And we'll talk about business building activities and just busy activities, right? A lot of times we do busy activities thinking that they're going to help our business grow, but really we want to be intentional with each day, starting our day off with let's do this and this and this. And so you stay better on track. So I provided this. I made this one up on Canva for you, and I will talk about this and how you can use this. I put 2 days on one sheet, so you could do Monday and then Tuesday. I'll explain how that works. And that's on our daily focus, and then we'll jump into the 5x5 tracker. And I have 2 documents for that. Again, I provide multiples because one may resonate with you better than the other and vice versa. So you don't have to use them both. They're just provided so you can choose which one best fits your style or helps you, or make your own. Okay, so before we jump into our daily focus, I would like to take just a few minutes to talk about busy activities and then income producing activities. One of the things that I have found throughout my years sharing and building a team is when someone really feels like they're doing all that they can for their business, there's often this mental state where they think they're doing it all, but actually they're not. They're either doing these really busy activities that aren't producing anything for their business, or they think they're doing the things that they really aren't. And that's where our 5x5 tracker will help. I use this example. Those of you guys that have followed me a long time will have heard this before, but because I've been in the fitness and nutritional field for a long time, I have dealt with a lot of weight loss fitness challenges for people. And the thing that I can correlate the best with what we're doing today is that these individuals will often come to me and they'll be like, why ain't I losing weight? I've cleaned up my eating, I'm exercising regularly. And I'll be like, great, you're on a great path, but let's step back. And I want you to get a notebook, and for the next week, I want you to write down all the activities you do and every single morsel that goes in your mouth, just for a week for me. And then after that week's done, we're going to circle back around and we're going to look at what are really the activities that are helping me move closer to my goal, and what are the things that might be hindering my goal a little bit. And it is so crazy that when you see that in front of you, or even when you're putting something in your mouth and you're like, I've got to write that down, you really double think things. And that's kind of in the fitness nutritional world. But the same thing goes here in our business building world. Is a lot of times people will say, well, I'm working on my social media. I'm trying to recruit. But are you doing the things that are really business building? So I have 2 little sections here. One is busy activities, and the other one is daily income producing activity examples, okay? And this will be just right before we talk about our daily focus. So, busy activities. Spending hours on social media. That is huge for a lot of people. We've seen it with this TikTok ban. People freaked out because they spend time scrolling. And the problem with us being in our social selling world is you often get the mindset that if you're on social media, you're working your business, but you're not. These have to be intentional activities, and we'll talk about those intentional activities. Getting caught up in drama. Again, I'm going to go back to the TikTok story. Because yesterday there was nothing but drama about TikTok on Facebook. And what did I do? I disconnected. That wasn't something that was going to add value or that I could do anything about. It was drama. It was drama producing. So I ex-nayed out of that and didn't waste my time. So drama, getting on social media, commenting on things that are very controversial that none of us have control over. And that's one of the things here on Posh Crew we talk about, because we have a mission to uplift, encourage, and support. So if there's posts or activities going on our team page, and they're not geared at supporting, uplifting, or encouraging, or it's okay to have a complaint or something that's not working right, but we also need a solution to be able to fix that. Otherwise, it's not an income producing activity. It's just a drama fest, okay? Procrastinating, not getting started right away. That's a lot of people's, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I don't feel like exercising right now. I'll do it later. Or I don't want to do that. I'll do it later. Procrastination is hard for a lot of people, and our daily focus will help you get started on things that will help you move into a great rhythm and cadence without that procrastination. People like to avoid the tasks they dislike. I always say put that dislike task first when your brain is functioning good and you feel like doing it, and then do the simple stuff later. But one of the reasons people don't stay consistent is they avoid or procrastinate the things they dislike doing. Not all of us like to follow up. So when you hit Friday and it's follow up Friday, I would put that first on your list and I'd get it over with, because done is fun, right? When you get it done, you feel so much better and it's so much more fun than letting it hang over you all day long that you have to do your follow ups, okay? Not connecting or being present for days. Huge, you guys. That's why we're talking about consistency. Because if you are not consisting sharing what you're doing in an authentic way, being present so people see you, people don't know, even though you're with Perfectly Posh, you're with Perfectly Posh, majority of the people do not even know Posh is back. So if you are connected for a few days and then gone for a few days, people don't really you don't create that connection with people, and then it's always like starting back over from the beginning, okay? So you really want to stay connected on a regular basis. And if connected for you is not daily, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get in the cadence of being present Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Doesn't have to be every day. Again, don't compare yourself to someone else. You're making this a part of your business and your schedule and your family. Okay? Not having a plan or goal for the week. We've really tried to work on that this month, haven't we? Talking about planning things out, getting your themes in place, having a plan for our bundle for the month, having a plan for the feature of the week. We come in with a plan. And the more you focus on getting these plans set, the better off you'll be. But when you have no plan or no goal, that's not an income producing activity. And lack of organization. I know sometimes I catch myself getting unorganized. My desk is a mess. I don't know where things are at. That is kind of not a very good income producing activity, because I waste my time finding the things I need to even get started. So sometimes getting your desk organized, getting things organized before you get started is super important. So you're not wasting your time always looking for something that you need. Okay, so those are some examples of busy activities. Feel free in the comments to put some other ideas that you have, or things that you tend to do that you know are kind of busy activities, but not per se income producing activities. Now we're going to talk about more income producing activities. And when I say income producing activities, these are activities that you can actually see something comes out of them. Something in your business will improve because you're consistent with it. Scrolling social media day in, day out, not doing the income producing activities will not change your business. But if you're doing these things on a consistent basis, you should see improvements in your business. And one of those is our 5x5 tracker that I'm not going to go into right now because we're going to talk about that after our daily focus. Getting Posh on people, super important. And you'll see a lot of these things are part of our 5x5 tracker when we talk about that. Income, getting Posh on people is so important. We know that when people try Posh, they fall in love with Posh. It's no convincing. They just try it and they love it and they ask more questions. So getting Posh on people. Following up with orders, with hostesses, with potentials. Follow up Friday, guys. So important to really find a way to continue to work on those follow-ups. A lot of times we get Posh on the people with samples, but we forget about the follow-up process, which is super important. Income producing activity. Challenges, doing challenges and connections with your team. So taking time to connect with your team members. My front line is quite large. So for me, my connection pieces may look a little different than a smaller team's connection pieces. I use my morning mingle or our training as my way to add value to a larger group of people to let them know I care and that I am devoted to helping their business grow and encourage them. I also will focus on answering questions and being open to one-on-ones with my team members. These are things that can look different from a small team to a large team, but are super important to helping your teams feel connected, encouraged, supported, and uplifted. Super important. Booking events and parties. And things have looked a little different for us here. Some people are doing online parties, some people aren't. Some people are doing home parties, some people aren't. Some people are doing events, some people aren't. Finding what works for you is super important. And it may be playing with those different things for a while to figure out where you're getting the best ROI, return on your investment, and the time you're putting into it. Where are you getting the better sales, the better connections, the new team members will be super important. But those are income producing activities because they get you in front of new people. Supporting and connecting team members, that's kind of the same as there's lots more income producing activities, but also in the comments we talked about those busy activities. If you've been with Posh a long time, if this is something you've been working on, tell us, what are your best income producing activities? Put it in the comments. We want to hear, what have you learned to be your best income producing activities? Okay, so when we're working on our daily focus, we talked about our week. When you are working on your daily focus, whether you're working on this sheet or you decide this sheet would be better for you, you want to be super intentional with this. And I always have gotten into a rhythm that the night before, I look at the next day. Okay, I don't wake up in the morning and then plan my work. The night before, I know what I have today. So for example, yesterday on Sunday, what did you guys get from me? You got the documents for what you needed for today's training, because yesterday I was planning my important activities that I had for today. And then as I go through those activities, tonight I'll be planning for Tuesday. I have my themes in place, but you always have to be intentional of going into the day with what do I have to do. One of the easiest ways to do that is in this little checklist is write down the night before 3 to 5 things that you want to get done the next day. Okay, 3 to 5 things. Now, if you don't work your business an hour a day, you just have a few minutes, maybe that list is shorter. But it's always top priority to least priority. So 1 is the top priority. I have to get it done tomorrow. So that today would be training for me, training for our team. And then 5 would be something that was less important. Okay, so those are my big, like, these are what 3 to 5 things I want to get done the next day, and I'm planning this the day before. In the morning, though, to avoid the busy activities instead of the income producing activities, I have made a routine for myself. Okay, and that's where this checklist may help some of you, because some people just need checklists. They can't come and just get to work. They need to get a few things done, get into the groove, and then they're able to focus. So on my daily action item to-do list, there's a few things that I do to get my brain started and ready for the day. Number 1, I log into my dashboard and I check numbers. Okay, how are we doing? How did things, like if it's the end of a week, I'm doing shout outs. If it's, I'm checking to see if I have any new sales, if we have new team members who rank advance. I do just a fast overview of what does my dashboard look like from the day before. Okay, so that would be check. That's first. Number 2, I check our team page and I check my chats. Okay, I don't scroll through social media. I go to our team page. I check for questions. I go to my chat notifications and check to see if I'm tagged in anything, if anything is important that needs to be answered first. Okay, that also goes with check your personal messages. What, do you have any text messages or Facebook messages or Instagram messages or whatever your social platform is? Check those first. Okay, get those questions answered first. Then I'll actually check my emails. I'll go over to my emails. I'll get rid of all of the junk stuff I don't need. I'll read the items that are important for the day, star them if I need to come back to them, or just get the ones answered if they're questions right away. Get that off of my plate, okay? And then after I do that, I'm gonna go into my 3 to 5 things that I have scheduled that I need to get done for the day, okay? And you guys, this is all before I ever go onto social media to see what's going on. That is my fun time. That's not my business time. That's my fun time. And sometimes it takes not getting on that part of the social media, and sometimes it just, you have to just get started on things. Now, on the 3 to 5 activities, that's where I want to share this with you. So there is a few thoughts out there about how to set up your activities for the day in the most efficient way. And so what has helped me with this, and I'm going to get my notes so I don't forget, because again, you guys, I do this automatically. I had to write it down so that I could not miss something that I do automatically. Okay, so the night before, you write down your top 3 to 5 priorities. Okay, maybe you do that on a scratch pad. Okay, number 1, if you look at this, it says top priority. Number 1 is your top priority. This is the thing that has to be done tomorrow. It's a non-negotiable. Its deadline is tomorrow. It can't be moved to a different day. This is your top priority. This is number 1, okay? Over here, it's doable tasks, okay? So there's 3 tasks right here. Now, these can be important tasks, like number 2 would be an important task. You'd love to get it done on Monday, but if you don't get it done, you could move it to number 1 on Tuesday. But you'd really like to get 1 and 2 done on Monday, right? So that's your first two. Then your third one is an important task, but it's not urgent. It can move to another day, but it's important it gets done soon, okay? And then number four is tasks that can be postponed. So it's kind of like that order of importance. This has to be done. This would be super important to get done, and I'll move to number one if I don't get it done. Example of 3 and 4. Those tasks just kind of are prioritized of importance. And then number 5 could be a long-term idea or brain dump of things you'd like to get done. So for example, if I have my training today for you, that's my top priority. Then I have number 2 is get it downloaded and recorded to YouTube and uploaded to our documents. Okay, that's important. It should be done today, but if it's not, it can move till tomorrow. And then I have maybe 3 and 4, which are personal business, 5x5 tracker things I need to get done. Now, I'll often have wish list things, okay? And that's where I have my important thing. I have 3 here, okay, so that's 4. Number 5 would probably go here for me. And these are my items that I would love to get done this week. And everything moves around just like we work in 3-month cycles. And when we finish a month, we open up a new month down here and we're on our current month. These move as you get them done. Top priority gets done today. Maybe my second priority gets done today. So everything moves up and shifts for the next day. So you can actually just at night take things and move it down here to your top priority and your doable, and then keep looking at these future activities and move them up as you can. And it becomes super organized, a simple way to stay on top of things and not get overwhelmed, especially when you're writing them down. You guys, things get lost in your brain. Just like I said, I do these things automatically, but to teach you, I have to write them down because I might miss teaching you something that I do automatically. So these 2 sheets, you can decide if one works for you or both work for you. These would be your daily focus sheets. And you're doing this the night before so that the next day you can get started right away on business building activities, okay? Please ask questions in the comments on the daily focus items. But again, we took that big picture of our month, working in 3-month cycles. Then we went to our week and we put it down into week focus and creating themes. And now we're into that daily focus, that the night before we're planning our work and working our plan for the next day. And this is customizable to whether you work your business 1 hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes, or you just have a few days a week you connect. This can make it more income producing for you, not just busy work, okay? Now, that leads us into the 5x5 tracker. And the 5x5 tracker is somewhat of a daily task consistency tracker that I love to give to people that tell me I'm doing everything in my business, but I'm not seeing results. And I have to take a step back because I get that. We have a way of doing that to ourselves. But the 5x5 tracker does not lie. Numbers do not lie. Our tracker does not lie. So if you are someone that purchased our little planners to keep us in track, I have the 5x5 explanation of each section here. I'm going to go over each section somewhat fast, but make notes as we go. In your planner, it looks like this. Now, if you saw this, it's the same thing. When I went over to Body Shop, when I Posh merged the first time, I had to create my own 5x5 tracker for my team because I knew it worked. So this was the 5x5 tracker that I made, but this is the one in the planner. So you can choose to print off either. One sheet is good for a full month, okay? And why do I say that? Because if you look at this 5x5 tracker, there are 5 important sections to this tracker. These 5 important sections are to help you stay consistent with business building activities. Each week is broken up right here. So you see you have 4 weeks, 4 weeks, because typically it's 4 weeks to a month, right? 4 weeks. And in the week, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. How many days are in a week? 7. So we aren't even making you do this activity every single day. There's some you could do one day, some you can do a next day, but the minimum number you want to do in a week is touching that area 5 times, okay? 5x5. 5 categories, 5 days in that week that you are touching that category consistently. And I'll tell you, it's harder than it appears because we often have an area in here that we fail on, that we're not focused on. And that's typically the area that we're like, why isn't that working for me? Well, probably because I'm not doing it right? And I shared this with, I've done this for years. This is one, when was this one? This was in, I don't even know what year. You can see how my calendars are so crazy. What year was this? I can't even remember what year this was. It was quite a while ago. But you can see my 5x5 tracker here. And you'll see as we talk about it, what's the one area I lacked in? Down here. So when I got done with this month and I looked at my numbers and I looked at my team members and I looked at what my business was doing, I knew why maybe this wasn't working as well and where I needed to focus to improve that part of my business. So you guys, this doesn't lie, especially if you do it truthfully. You have to do it truthfully. So let's break down the 5 areas. You can decide which tracker works for you, this one or this one. You can just print it off. You don't have to have the planner. But we're going to walk through fastly each category. I don't want to make this too long for you. And we're going to talk about it. Please feel free in the comments to put other things, especially if you've used, I know Crystal's used my 5x5 tracker. She loves it. It's helped her in her business. Share the things that have helped you because this is a group conversation. I just can't see the comments. So it keeps me on track though. Okay, so first category, customer follow-ups. 5, only 5 customer follow-ups, okay? So let's say you don't do customer follow-ups all week, but Friday is follow-up Friday, and you know you need to at least do 5 customer follow-ups. You could wait to Friday to do 5 customer follow-ups because that's your day. I would probably spread it out, but 5's your minimum, okay? Because that's the tracker minimum. I would always encourage people to do more if they can, double it. But again, we're just getting in this routine. We're getting in this consistency. So customer follow-up doesn't have to be every 5 of the 7 days. If you have Friday set for customer follow-up, you could knock out your 5 customer follow-ups on a Friday, right? If not, you could do it throughout the week. The biggest thing though, guys, this isn't just the do-all. You really need a way to track it. Now, if you're in the planner, there's a tracking sheet here. You could use a notebook. If you use a customer CRM to follow up with people, you could use that. But you're going to want to, of course, write down your follow-ups, who you're following up, and when. And that's a whole different training. But customer follow-up is a huge one for our business because we know that's an income-producing activity. So you're going to, what else did I have to talk to you guys about on that? So customer follow-ups, as you sell and share to your customers, keep track who they are and what they enjoy. Okay, take time every week to reach out and follow up with at least 5 of them. See if they need more pampering samples. A lot of times I check to see if they're getting low on their refills. Um, or offer up a fun, helpful tip or something you're doing on your business page or VIP page. Create that conversation authentically. Ask them if they're enjoying their products, if they have any questions on the products they've gotten or the samples. It's always easier to keep current customers than to continue to always get new customers. We have to have new customers, but you want to keep those customers that you have happy, right? So customer follow-up super important. So that's category 1 of 5. Customer follow-ups. Do it throughout the week or pick a day and knock it out, okay? So you're going to write it down, but you're also going to keep track of those customers you're following up with. Okay, second one, excuse me, get 5 products on the people. Products on the people. We know how important this is. We already talked about that in our income producing activities for the day. Getting products on people is the easiest way to get them to fall in love with Posh. So if you are getting product on the people, I'm guessing you're probably getting some sales, right? Got to do the follow up, but product on the people is really going to help. Samples, carrying a big fat yummy hand cream with you, using it in public places, and then someone says, oh, I love the smell of that, giving them a little dab of it. If you're doing an event, you guys, and or an online party, and that online party has you sending out 5 sample packs to the people at the party, that is 5 of the ones you need for the week. Super easy. And keep track of that for your follow-ups, right? Then you can kick off, I got my 5 samples out on Monday for my online event. I did my online event, let's say we'll speed the time up. I did my online event on a Wednesday. And then on a Friday, I had my 5 follow-ups completed. Product on the people and following up. 5 per week, okay? So when you're looking at product on the people, you'll quickly learn that that's one of the most important things you can do. And it makes it easy to share the products, especially new products or products they're questioning. You can sample them out. You could do a try it Tuesday and get some samples out on a try it Tuesday. Those all can be part of knocking off your 5 samples on the people a week. Okay, so that's that category. Next category, 5 product experiences. And this can look different, you guys. And I've worked on our February action calendar already because our 5x5 tracker is going to be our incentive next month as a team. And I've incorporated into our February action calendar product experience lives that you can do will help you knock these 5 product experiences off your tracker per week, okay? So, product experiences. This is easier than it may sound, and it's part of our everyday life because this should be a lifestyle brand to you. So you should be sharing authentically the things you're using, why you're using, the testimonials you have on those products. Just as your everyday experience, right? That's a product experience. I use my Moisture 911. My face feels tighter and brighter today. You're sharing a product experience. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? As you pamper yourself and take care of your skin each day, snap a quick picture or videos of your experiences and share them. Share on your personal and business social media pages at least 5 times a week. So, snap a picture while you're washing your face. Talk about it. Do a testimonial. We have Testimonial Tuesday. Give your personal experience. But it's product experience. It's talking about the product experience. So that is our third of 5 categories. Again, that's only 5 times in the week. And I've actually helped you in February with knocking a few of those off if you pay attention to our action calendar. Okay, next category, we have two more. Team connections. So some of you are here and you're not growing a team, but team connection is still important because we want you to be present in here on the team page. And part of your daily focus, what did we talk about? Coming onto the team page and checking what's going on, what's new for the day, what do I need to have under my belt so that I know what's going on for the day. That's a team connection. You're coming over here. You're being a part of the team. You're asking questions. You're answering questions. You're checking on things. You're participating in trainings. That is a team connection, okay? So on here it says one of the best resources you have in your business is the team you're already on. Our team, right? The Posh Crew, we're pretty darn amazing, right? Look up to your upline, fellow other team members, what they're doing, what they're sharing, to learn more about Perfectly Posh and to get helpful tips for success. So easily doing that 5 out of the 7 days a week, coming here, learning from others, doing a training maybe, if you don't do a Monday morning training with us here, maybe Tuesday's better for you. That's a team connection. You're coming here, you're doing the training, you're hearing what other people are saying, you're learning from others, and then you're crossing it off. But if you're a team lead, it's being connected to your team. Are you posting in your team page if you have one? Are you connecting and answering questions for your team members? If you've chose to sponsor someone, are you available when they have questions and need help? That's part of team connection. So it can look different, but minimum is 5 times a week that you are partaking in team connections, okay? Last but not least is probably the struggle bus area for a lot of us, but it doesn't need to be when you're consistent and you're doing the small activities throughout the week and then throughout the month. Number 5 is potential team members, okay? This is planting seeds. It's not asking people to join your team, running after people, throwing DMs at people. No, it's not that. It's developing authentic relationships with people and talking about team building or offering that opportunity up. When a new customer comes into Perfectly Posh, let's say you shared a sample with them and you're talking about the sample and you get into a conversation, you will want to offer up the 3 things that we have that they can partake in. They can join, the benefit of joining, team building. You're talking about team building, you're planting the seed. You can talk about that. You could talk about our perks program, or if you do online parties or home parties, you talk about that, or you can talk about just purchasing. But when you have those authentic team building conversations, you can give yourself credit for that because you offered up the plate of what we offer here, and one of them is being a part of our team, is growing your own Posh business and getting the benefits of doing that. So don't overcomplicate the team building section. The whole point of that is to make you intentional that you're planting those seeds, that you're following up with the people that are interested, that you're onboarding your new people that are coming on. And I can't say the way I do it's right or the way someone else does it right, but I'm very much not a hover upline. I like to get my people started. I like to give them their welcome packet, welcome them to the team, be connected with them, and then get on a one-on-one call with them to help answer questions and get them moving forward. You can decide what that looks like, but that team building, going and having that one-on-one with them, helping them onboard onto the Posh business is part of team building. So you can cross those out, okay, when you do those activities. So look for the best and most passionate people that are busy, like to say, I'm too busy to do that. Guys, my most successful people that I've had on my team are my busiest people because they're intentional with their business and they're intentional in sharing, and they're not doing the busy activities because they don't have time for them. They're doing things they need to, okay? So look for those people. We've talked about jotting your dream team list down, the people that you think absolutely amazing at Posh, and just having them in the forefront of your brain and having those conversations authentically with them. Um, when you meet someone who really loves Perfectly Posh or who really has a knack for sharing it, offer a spot on your team for them. This is the platter. This is what we offer. This is our dessert platter. Do you want to join our amazing team and get a discount and have fun with us and learn? Or do you want to host a party if you're hosting parties or doing online? Or would you just like to buy because you simply just want to come to me and say, hey, Shalene, I need this, or I just want to go to your website and get that? That is okay. It fits their lifestyle, and that's what we're here to do. It's not what I want for you, it's what they need for them, okay? And that's why you'll always hear me say, don't recruit your customers to be a team member unless it's something they truly want. Because I can tell you from experience, if you take a good customer that's on the fence and not quite sure they want to do it, over onto the team building section, coming over as a team member, if they don't want to place an order or learn the back office or ask the questions, they're probably not going to place an order, and then you lost a really good customer because they're going to be too scared to say, hey, Shalene, this team stuff, this Perfectly Posh as an advocate isn't for me. Can I come back as a customer? Most of them won't do that. I can promise you. And then you lost a team member and you lost a customer. So be authentic with asking the questions and see where it fits them. Another tangent, another training, but I have to say that because I don't want this team building section to be recruiting your customers to come as team members unless they authentically want to come, or you think you're planting some seeds because you think they'd be really good at it, and no's okay, right? No is okay. You still get to cross it off because you planted the seed. So again, you guys, take some time to look at this. This truly will, if you're struggling in an area of your business and you're not sure why, be intentional. Get started on this. We only have this week and next week of the month. Then we'll start a fresh calendar for February. I'll have my action calendar that has specific action items to help you cross areas off of your 5x5 tracker. And then every Friday, between Friday and Sunday, we will have a 5x5 tracker check-in in February. Well, you'll be able to snap a picture of your 5x5 tracker and how you did on week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And I'm going to have some happy mail for people that are really into working their business consistently this way. But hopefully you can see that as we've went through this training this month, we've took the big picture, the months, working in 3-month cycles, brought them down to the weeks, into the themes, into the featured products, into the business activities done, down into the day where we're planning our day the day before, and then during that day, we're doing income producing activities, okay? Not busy activities. We're doing our income producing activities, okay? So the 3 weeks of training right now has pretty much set you up for what I'd like to have you working on throughout this week and next week. And then starting February, we will go into the intentional 5x5 tracker, show up, show what you're doing, will be our February challenge. I do have one more training for next week. It is on a little bit different of a tangent. It's going to be on a 75 loyal customer list. So you'll learn more about that next week. And that 75 loyal customer list is something that's going to grow. It's not something you need to do right away this month or get under your belt right away this month, but it is something I would like you to consider getting started in the month of January and then growing it throughout the year. So we'll be talking about that next Monday, okay? Please let me know if you have any questions. I tried to keep that as short as possible. Please ask questions. I'll go back through the questions and then you guys, you did it. You got the 3 main weeks done. Next week will be just extras. I'm excited to see what you guys do with your business with the 5x5 tracker. And I hope that some of the skills, ideas, and tips will help you design your business for how it works best for you. Whether it's just a 15 minutes a day, a few days a week, just getting into the consistency of sharing Posh and growing at your rate. And how fast you want to grow or how slow you want to grow is all determined on the action that you put in. So have a great Monday, you guys. I will get this uploaded onto YouTube and put in our guide section. Have an amazing Monday.